Hello and welcome to Eyewitness on Channels Television. It's been a flood-filled period for the country as communities suffer the impact of this occurrence, largely due to the rise in the water level of the rivers Niger and Benue. Now this week, Enugu community takes the hit and experts discuss the consequence and more. Perennial flooding along the Ogun River makes a return. Join us for details. I am Chris Elems. The flood story continues to maintain headlines as more communities are submerged and economic activities washed away by the tides. Now, after a series of rainfall, some communities in Uzowani in Enugu State are faced with a predicament that has brought them great losses. Now, with the losses staring us in the face, it becomes very important to find lasting solutions to this environmental problem. We have expert views on these issues. Join us. The flood that visited Ugurugu, an agrarian community in Uzowani local government area of Enugu State, has left houses submerged, farmlands washed away, household property damaged, and over 2,000 people displaced, with 2 dead to mourn. The displaced have paddled their way to the dry land in search of warmth and shelter, with anguish written all over their faces. A few who have salvaged some of their belongings sit and watch, while others move around in utter confusion. What has happened to them is devastating.
Victims also affected to the extent that crops worth millions of naira were damaged. And you can, just as you can see yourself, you can see that vehicle that has been swallowed up by water. In fact, we have few of them that are even residing there. Like this man, he has a farmland in that place. It was only God that was on his side that managed to swim, because that time the canoe itself has capsized. So he had to manage with the help of other people and came out with his own family. It is not the only first time. 2012 we had this flood disaster as well, but this year is more intensive. For example, like when Governor Ogboro was in House of Representatives, he was the one that with himself we got this jetty. Now we are believing that the government should help this community, especially the affected people. There are so many in quantum with reasonable relief packages. One, for example, some people now to even get mosquito net, blankets, and other items, even cooking materials. And especially these farmers, they only Ogrugu, just like in a program I attended last time, I told the Pt.1 that Ogrugu people, if they are well harnessed and blessed, they can feed the Enugu State when it comes on rice, and people know that they can do that. But the rice now, we are major producers of rice, and these farmers are talking to you, their rice have been destroyed. You can equally see that place, it has been swallowed up. So it's a lot of things.
My rice farm has been washed away by flood. We are hungry and certainly will be more hungry because our only source of livelihood has been swept away. I need help. All of us here are in dire need. The government should come and rescue us.
The State Emergency Management Agency, medical team from the Ministry of Health are on ground to see for themselves the extent of damage the flood has done. The State Deputy Governor leads the team with the hope of giving succor to the victims. The team also moved to other affected areas including Iga and Ojo, where the Deputy Governor, Cecilia Izelo, addressed them in the local parlance.
We heard what flood did to you, our people, in these communities, and we are here to commiserate with you all. It is the duty of the government to alleviate the people's sufferings, and we pledge to support all of you all the way.
The process of rehabilitation must begin immediately, and the responsibility rests on the shoulders of the State Emergency Management Agency, as well as the State Ministry of Health. They speak with us on steps being taken to address the devastation of the Uzuwane communities.
The response team of the agency was dispatched to the local government for an on-the-spot assessment to see for themselves the level of damage and what relief that could be given to the people affected. Our record shows that over 2,000 persons were affected, over 2,000 are displaced, including women and children. In fact, our record shows that over 100 pregnant women were also affected and they are displaced. Children are over 200, with lactating mothers that are also about 100. The state intervened immediately by sending relief materials to them, including rice, beans, non-food items, mats, blankets, and a host of other commodities that were taken along for temporary relief to the affected persons. We also alerted one of our stakeholders, which is the Ministry of Health in Enugu State, and they also came to the communities with a team of medical professionals that are currently attending to their medical needs. Women, children, the children are being vaccinated, the pregnant women are receiving antenatal care, and a host of other medical support that they are giving to the affected persons.
We were correctly informed. They have persistent levels of water in this community, so they have a lot of mosquitoes. The SEMA is equally bringing mosquito nets, but we have anti-malarials for adults, we have anti-malarials for children. Now, whenever flood occurs, you have contamination. Feces, drinking water, they mix up. So we have oral rehydration salts for people who develop diarrhea. We have antibiotics for people that have been infected by this fecal contamination. Precautionary measures for the good people that occupy these communities is to make sure they don't drink water that is contaminated. Fortunately, we are still in the rainy season. So even if we don't have boreholes and pipe-borne water here, they can still collect rainwater and make sure it's not contaminated by flood water. That's one big thing we can advise them. And then when it comes to defecation, for those who don't have water closets or pit toilets, we urge them not to defecate in the water. Because even if it doesn't harm you, it could go downstream or upstream and harm some other person.